What's up, guys? How's it going? Today we're going to be talking about the perk Iron Will. So, this is one of those perks that, in theory, the perk is fine. In dev execution, this perk is a broken mess. So, you're able to concentrate and enter a meditative-like state to numb some of the pain. Grunts of pain caused by injuries are reduced by 100%, which meaning you are silent. You make no cries, no sounds, no verbal sounds while injured. Does the perk itself need nerfs or buffs? No. What does need to get looked into is the mechanics of the game that cause Iron Will to become a broken mess. A couple of examples. I am almost positive that Iron Will is one of the leading reasons why there is a bug in the game that causes survivors to make no sound while they are crawling on the ground. As long as someone in the match has Iron Will, someone has a chance to not make sounds while they're slugged. The fact that it is still in the game is ridiculous. The fact that you slug someone and you walk away because you kind of have to, because people are either swarming you with flashlights waiting to get the pallets done, so you have to branch off of them. You have to go for a different chase, because if you don't, they're just going to come up and get the survivor off your shoulder. So you walk away, you chase the survivor who has a flashlight or is waiting for the pallet, you hit them. While you're chasing them to get the hit, the survivor who is under the pallet starts crawling away. You chase the survivor, you hit the survivor. Let's say you down the survivor. Let's say you down the survivor lickety-split. You pick them up. You waste 15-20 seconds to get from where you are to a hook unless they went down at a hook. Then, you waste whatever time it takes for you to get from there back to the survivor where they were. Let's say it takes 15 seconds. Or 10. Let's low ball it to 10 seconds. So, the overall chasing the survivor, hitting the survivor, downing the survivor, hooking the survivor, and walk back. Let's say it takes you a minute. In that minute, a generator is complete. That survivor just had a minute to go from where they were to a brand new place in the map. In a minute, a survivor can crawl very far away. Now, you're going around, you're searching the area. You're listening for that hearing clue of the survivor being on the ground. But the survivor doesn't make a sound. They got the Iron Will bug. So now that survivor is free for their team to get up, because you can't find them, because the blood trail they did leave is gone now by the time you get back. And they make no sound, so they can hide in the corner and you don't know where they are. So, a bug made it so you lost any momentum you would have gotten from that survivor when you came back to get them. Iron Will is also another reason why Iron Will can be one of those really, really broken perks, is because the devs it seems like the devs, every time they put out a major patch, they increase the chase sound, the chase music, a slightly bit louder, then a slightly bit louder, and a slightly bit louder. It is so loud that if a survivor has Iron Will, you are not tracking them to save your life. Because that chase music mutes everything else. You're in a chase, and that chase music is blaring in your ears. So you don't hear the footsteps on the ground. You don't hear the footsteps ruffling through the grass. You don't hear them breathing. Because that chase music, especially if you're playing a killer with a louder chase music, like the Legion, like Ghostface, like I think Billy has quite a loud chase music as well. It causes Iron Will to just make it so that any way you could follow them through their crying disappears. And now you have to kind of guess where they are. Guess which way they're running. You make a wrong guess, now you're wasting a lot of time. Those are just two examples of why I personally think Iron Will, though, the perk is fine. The devs really need to look at things like the sound. Like, a lot of the sounds in Dead by Daylight are much louder than they need to be. I can see having a bit louder so that it kind of masks their footsteps and their breathing, but making it so loud that you can't hear it at all. They're just getting these perks for free that they didn't have to bring in. There are certain perks that certain mechanics in the game that just makes survivors, almost looks like survivors have an extra perk slot. Like, when the chase music's so loud in the kill you're playing that it feels like the survivors have a perk that says it mutes their footsteps, it really just makes it so much harder as killer to play. So, in the end, is Iron Will a good perk? Yes, Iron Will is a very good perk. Do I suggest a new survivor getting it? If you see it in the shrine, I do suggest getting the perk. This is not one of those perks that I suggest you get the survivor to. Actually, I think, is Jake part of the generic? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, he might be. I think he is. I think Jake is part of the starter group of survivors. So, if you want to level him up, go for it. He is just generic. So yeah, I suggest, get the perk, level up Jake if you have the extra blood points. I wouldn't suggest darting for him over other perks, but Iron Will isn't that bad. If you guys have any ideas, if you guys disagree with me, if you guys agree with me, let me know. And I'll see you in the next one.